Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptic one.
I'm Erin, the believer.
And I'm just hoping that tonight goes well because today has been the day of failures. It's been a day.
Yeah, I feel like the podcasting gods, actually, I kind of feel like, I hope they'll still air this. I feel like Anchor is like, oh, you will not use another device.
Right. We'll make sure everywhere you try fails.
We'll make GarageBand really hard and make Erin want to quit life. And then we'll make Audacity impossible.
Yeah. My tech savvy husband tried his best tonight, and bless his heart, I know he doesn't like to fail, but finally, and he was being so stubborn. And I was like, we got to do this. So we're just going to go back to our trusty old Anchor.
Yeah. So if the editing isn't perfect, sorry.
You're just going to have to live with it.
I hope you love us enough until we can get through this hump. Because right now,
we've tried. We're trying the best we can.
We are stuck here.
Oh, man. Yeah. And then everything in my household tonight just went crazy, like all at one time. It was just like the dishwasher stopped working. So then James is trying to work on that while I'm trying to cook. So that was fun. And then poor little Miles got a sunburn because I'm a horrible mom and forgot sunscreen. Well,
we both did.
It was a cast over day. I mean, what are you going to do?
We went to the park yesterday. We forgot sunscreen, and all of our babies got burned. But her little redhead babies both got.
Yes, they did. Macy James didn't get that bad, but poor little Miles. I mean, he's just in pain. So I was like, oh, every time you scream, I feel like the worst mother ever. But it happens. But I hope I don't bring that this bad juju in with me.
And you did. I think you're cursed.
I know. And then all of a sudden, is it because I'm a skeptic?
Yes, it is. Solved.
Nah, that's not just coincidence after coincidence of bad luck. But hopefully tonight will go smoothly. And I don't think I've ever been so happy to sit in this spot.
Oh, really? You always love this night, even more.
I do. But tonight I was like, I wasn't even going to drink tonight, you all. I was like, I'm just going to try. I'm going to try not to. I was like, I'm just not even going to do it. And then this happened, and I immediately got a box of wine and was like, here I am.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
Sometimes you just have to trust. You got to go back to Old Faithful.
Right. It's
wine and Anchor.
The prettiest glass of wine I've ever seen. It's like golden and beautiful.
We'll take a picture of it.
We will
at some point. It'll probably be another glass of wine.
I'm going to take a picture right now.
Right now.
And then I'll post this. Oh no, people are going to see my paint splotched wall that didn't match. I thought the colors matched and they didn't. So
they'll be so focused on my beautiful glass of wine, they won't even care about that.
Oh, good.
Too funny. Well, other than that, though, it's summertime. How's that? But it's been rainy every day.
It's been a crap summer so far, just weather-wise.
Yeah, weather-wise, yeah, because, man, I need sunshine, which I will then apply plenty of sunscreen. Right? Lesson learned. I'm just going to, cloak them in actual cloaks.
Yeah.
They'll look like little black-eyed children in the daytime.
Like little, Grim Reapers. Little tiny Grim Reapers.
Oh, it'll be so cute.
It'd be so scary to see Miles with a pickaxe. What is that thing called?
Gosh, yes, it would be very scary to see.
Yeah, no weapons.
No weapons, but for real, I got to figure something out with the sun. But I do need the sunshine to start coming back into Kentucky, and I need our pool a couple doors down to open up, and let's just make this summer actually feel like summer and not the pandemic anymore. And then I think my mood will be lifted.
100%. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Big things are going to happen this summer. I just need the weather to cooperate.
Yes. Agreed.
Well, Kevin and I watched The Conjuring this weekend.
Ooh.
Which it's always hard to get him to watch a scary movie because he doesn't like to be scared. He doesn't like to show his fear.
Right.
It was pretty good. There were a lot of jump scares.
Nice.
But I'm totally fine with this jump scare movie.
I mean, you're fine as in you like to watch them.
Yeah.
You're not fine as in I'm cool as a cucumber because you jump a lot.
Exactly. I actually told Kevin, I said, I wish I had a ski mask so that, because I cover my nose up to with blankets. And then I want my forehead covered too.
Why?
I don't know. I want so little of me showing.
What do you think is going to happen to your forehead?
I don't know. I want to be completely covered.
That is the strangest.
It scares me so.
I would also love to walk in just randomly, I've got a question and walk in and see there in a ski mask.
Right.
Watching, eating popcorn. Kevin sitting next to you. He's normal. He's like, what's up?
Yeah, it'd be perfect. It would be hilarious. And ski masks have really fun names like balaclava or something.
What? Baklava?
Balaclava. I think that's right. Balaclava is another word for a ski mask.
Look at you.
I know.
That is, never heard it before.
You have, because it's been on, they've said it on True Crime Podcast before. And he wore a balaclava, and I always have to look it up. And
I probably always thought it was something else.
Like, yeah.
He was wearing something, you know.
We have Google Home, so I constantly am like, I'm not going to say it right now because I'll set up ours and everybody else's, but I'm like, hey, you know who? What's a balaclava? And then I get a little picture of it. It's great.
Well, there you go. If only there were a little box that knew every answer to every question in every home. Oh, I know. I hear it all the time because our stepson is with us now, and he loves it. So he just sits there and thinks of the stupidest questions to ask it, and it always has an answer. And
right.
Well, hello, Ellie.
Oh, Ellie wanted to snore so loud.
Oh, I'm so glad she did because our fan favorite tonight that we'll get to at the end, Mrs. Ellie, and so that was like an honor of our fan favorite.
I can't wait to know who it is.
I know. I've been so excited about this fan favorite. Not that I'm not normally about all the other fan favorites, but this one's fun. So, I mean, the other ones are fun too. I don't know where to go from there. Everybody's fun. It's all great. This one is unexpected. Let's say that. Okay. You're not going to expect it. This one.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I got you thinking. But anyway, yeah. Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Good. It was good. It has a lot of jump scares. Okay. I don't know how much. Oh, I don't know if I can say this as the believer. I don't know how much I trust Lorraine and.
Oh, the ghost hunters?
Yeah. Okay. The real life version of them. Mm-hmm. I feel like they may have been cons.
Well, yeah.
I know you feel like they're cons for sure, but I feel like they might have been cons. But I do like their characters in the Conjuring movies.
Okay. Well, isn't our movie coming up kind of about our Patreon movie?
Yes.
It's about ghost hunters, then actually they're cons, but then something starts really happening.
Yeah. Once I've decided I'm going to watch a movie, I stop watching the trailer because I don't want to ruin everything.
They show you everything in trailers. I'm like, what's the point of watching it?
I know. I watch until I'm like, yep, I definitely want to see it. And then I don't watch anymore. So I didn't see the whole thing, but I did see the part where he's like, just pretend like a ghost comes in or, whatever, pretend like you feel something. And I was like, oh, this is the movie we're watching.
Yeah. Nice. I'm excited about that for sure. Of course, if you're listening to this and you're not a Patreon yet, you missed out.
It's too late.
But you can get in on the next one.
That's right. I know. They're so fun. They're one of my favorite nights of the month.
Mine too. Yeah. And I'm so glad I have another fun reason this week to do something.
I know.
after the day I've had. It's just been the day. Whew. Anyway. Well, also I wanted to suggest that 2020, we both watched this 2020, you all.
Yeah.
And it was good. What was it?
So
it was called Gone Girl.
Well, they kept referring to it. It was called Taken.
It was called Taken. It took me a minute to get caught up. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of reference to Gone Girl. And it was about a kidnapping the police didn't believe that it was a kidnapping. All the suspicion. It was wild.
Twists and turns. And I mean, and I started watching it by myself. And then James just popped up from downstairs and sat down for like 2 minutes. And then he like leans back like, what is going on? And then he was like, pause it. Tell me everything. I'm like, okay. So I had to pause it, tell him all the backstory. And then he was in. It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. And if you're someone like me who was raised to always trust police and now is full of doubt with the police, this won't help that situation.
Oh no.
I was like, wow, there we go. Here we go again. Cops are messing it up.
I know.
Let's move on before we get in trouble.
Yeah, right. We might get in trouble with somebody. Anyway, so we do have some good stories tonight. Do you want to just jump into that?
Yeah, I say let's go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to go first. This is Angie, and Angie, I love her. So she is, we could call her Repeat Angie, but it doesn't flow as well as Repeat Reby.
Again, Angie. Angie again.
Angie again. She's written a couple times or just
I think just once.
Just one at a time. But she loves doing TikTok videos, and she's shouted us out a couple times on TikTok, which has been fun. So look her up on TikTok because they're hilarious videos.
Up your alley.
Oh yeah, because she was also a fan favorite, and she had all the glitter.
Yeah, she also sent me a message the other day that said, "I crack up every time you guys say up your alley," and I'm like, "Do we say that a lot?" She said, "You've only talked about
say it's right up your alley."
Yeah, we apparently say it a lot because she always gets kicked out.
I could see myself saying it's right up your alley. Yeah, that is funny. Now I'll notice it more whenever I say it. Okay, so this is from Up Your Alley, Angie. Hi, Aaron and Megan. Hope you are both well. I have my mom on the phone and I am laughing so hard at her. She lives 2 hours north of me. She doesn't understand my fascination with ghosts and such. Yeah, you started me on this, is my reply. I lived with my mushum and cookum.
Oh,
No, that's grandpa and grandma. Till I was 6 years old. I am indigenous. When you look up Canada, look way up to the northern part, parallel to Alaska. All ice and snow. Whew. Like all the time. Wow. And she says in southern Alberta. At 13, my grandpa passed away. My grandma had passed 7 years earlier. The house they had lived in was given to them in 1969. I was 1 year old. When my grandpa passed away, none of my mom's siblings wanted anything to do with it since there were a few things that needed to be updated. My mom was the oldest of 10. So at 14, we moved in. And I remember the whole year learning how to replace windows and doing siding on the house.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know.
How old was she? I'm sorry.
14. She moved in when they were 14, a year after her grandfather had died. Her grandmother had passed away a while ago. I think that's important at one point.
Okay.
So we tore out a bedroom and redid everything. And that's when I started living in my crazy world for the next 3 years.
Ooh.
Right?
Way to...
Oh, I forgot to tell you, the subject line is my haunted house.
All right. Well.
Yeah, we're here.
That really added suspense, that last line. I know. For the next 3 years.
Did you like the way I read it too?
Yeah, I did. It was really good. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I was trying.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Was that?
Dun, dun, dun. Elmo's World?
No. Not Elmo's World. Maybe. I'm not very good at tunes. No, what's Irma.
Stupid ugly Irma. Dun, 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 dun.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah. If you don't know what that is, you're not alone. There's probably a lot of people.
Oh my gosh. If you don't know what that is, pause.
We will post it. No, we'll definitely post that because you can get it on YouTube now. We'll put it on the Facebook page.
So funny.
Yes. So go ahead. Tell me what you're saying. Pause it.
Pause it. Go to our Facebook and watch.
Yeah.
Watch the YouTube clip we're going to post. I don't know if it was from Saturday Night Live or what.
It was like a sketch. Basically just a woman on her first date and she's sitting there across from this man and he asks her, she talks to the camera.
Yeah, she breaks, the third wall and looks at the camera and says, man, this is so exciting to be on this date. I hope he doesn't ask me about college because I never went. And he's like, so where'd you go to college?
And then she goes into this wild story about why she didn't go to college.
Oh,
and
it is so funny.
It is the most bizarre sketch and funniest. And she's so animated. She's a pretty famous comedian, or was back in the 80s, I think. Yeah. I can't think of her name, but
I feel like I haven't seen it in probably 7 years and I could still recite everything. The whole thing.
Oh, for sure.
Irma, stupid, ugly Irma.
Clearly, I have bad, I can't do tunes very well. Musical abilities, because I think that was Elmo's World. But anyway, I can still recite the lines, just not the music.
Right. We digress. Let's go ahead.
Okay. I spent most of my time wearing headphones and listening to I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be weird? Just kidding. And listening to Madonna until Tuesday. Until Tuesday, TIL Tuesday. Have you ever heard that group? Me neither. I wonder if they're a Canadian group or anyway. Ignoring the lights going on and off. Honestly, I thought the house was so old that maybe there were issues with the wiring. Of course, now I know that 13 years isn't that old for a house. I had no excuse for the lamps turning on and off. I ignored the record player. Is it record player? I ignored the record player starting and turning off. I ignored the TV turning on and off. Back then, you had to go and pull the knob to turn the TV on. So that's old school. That's all the way.
No judgment, but...
Oh, no judgment. No, none at all. I'm just saying it's not like the clicker. You can't even click it on. So you can't blame it on like a faulty remote.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I am the skeptic one.
Yeah, right.
So you're I know I shouldn't be like driving it home, but...
What's the opposite of debunking? You're bunking it.
I'm bunking it left and right. Okay. I told my mom, but she told me not to be ridiculous. Okay. Just so you know, I wasn't batshit crazy. I didn't spend as much time as I needed in that house. I slept over at my BFF's house most times, and let's just say she was never going to spend time at our house. That sucks. You're like, come spend the night at my house.
Unless she's like, yay, get me out of here.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, but then on the nights when her mom is like, no, you cannot spend the night there. She's like, please come spend the night with me. I'm terrified.
Right.
By the time I was almost 16, my mom gave birth to my youngest brother.
Oh my gosh, that's a big gap.
Oh, it's a big gap, but it's also a smart gap because you got a built-in babysitter.
Yeah, but then you're starting over, unless
That's
she's
true.
had people in between, because she said her youngest.
Yeah, I bet she's had some in between. I mean, that's just my guess, because doesn't she say at one point her mom was the oldest of 10.
Oh,
So her
wow.
mom came from a big family.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really matter to the story. It's just
Sorry.
something to ponder, but just that's a big gap. But you also kind of have like a second little mom there.
That's true.
Okay, that's when my parents noticed that all the things that I've told them were actually happening. Lights going on and off, and music and TV turning on and off. I wasn't home, so they knew it wasn't me. I guess maybe before they always just kind of blamed her, like but now that she's out of the house more often, being 16.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There are a lot of things you can blame on your kids because you're like, oh, that light's on.
Right. And you don't even think twice about it. You
Right.
just know it had to have been somebody else. I was almost 17. My parents were in the city with my younger brother who has special needs. They were gone for almost 2 weeks. So now she's in the spooky house by herself.
That's not okay.
Right. And that best friend, why don't she go stay at the best friend's house for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she had to keep checking on the house. I worked in a catering company and got home super late since it was wedding season. It wasn't unusual to work like 18 hours during this time. And I came
in a day?
Yeah, I guess so, because of wedding season.
Holy crap.
Right. And I came home and literally took my uniform off and crawled into bed. An hour later, I woke to the sound of a crying woman. Not sniffling like crying, but sobbing loudly.
Oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying.
WTF, it's 4 a.m.
Oh my gosh, I hate that so much.
Yeah.
Because you're primarily scared, but part of you is just pissed. Like, I am
tired.
so tired.
Right.
It is 4 a.m.
Right. And now I've got to deal with this crying woman. Get over it. You'll be fine, lady.
Dry it up.
I laid there in fear. I thought, is this a cat? Nope, it's coming from the basement. Our basement was just 4 walls of cement and a wood furnace stove.
No, I really hate
that. I jumped up and grabbed my uniform and got out of the house and drove to my aunt's house. I hope she put her uniform on somewhere in between that drive. That'd be an awkward. I'm sure she did. My aunt and uncle woke up to me banging on their door.
Naked.
No, not naked. Hopefully clothed. My aunt sent my uncle to our house to look around. And she never says, did the uncle find anything? I guess
Angie.
not. Yeah, she left that part out. So was the uncle brave enough to go into the house? Because this is an empty house right now, or supposed to be.
Right.
And even if it's a for real crying woman, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, what is she crying about? How did she make her way into the home?
Right.
Who do I call? Oh, I don't know. I think I would not be brave enough to go in that house. I think I'd call the cops that we don't trust. But in that case,
in Canada, they're Mounties, I bet.
Oh, I'd call them Mounties. That sounds so much nicer. I would love a Mountie.
I don't know if that's true, if they're all Mounties, but in my brain, they are all Mounties.
Well, and as uneducated as we've been about our own police system, who knows how Mounties are?
That's true.
Everything in Canada is better. But
I am married to a Canadian. I should know more about all of this stuff, but I don't.
Yes, you should. You should. Anyway, so I slept at my aunt's house till my parents got home. Soon after, my mom asked me as I was eating breakfast why I cried in my sleep. So like now she's home. A couple days later, her mom is like, "Why are you crying in your sleep?" Which also, Mom, go check on her maybe. Like, don't wait till the morning. Go find out. I hadn't done any crying. So my mom started regularly checking in on me while I slept. The sounds of crying they were hearing weren't coming from me. They realized that it wasn't me when I slept at my BFF's house. So then they started hearing it when she's gone.
Oh, my Lord. I cannot wait for you to try to debunk this. Okay.
4 months later, we moved, sold the house. We know the new owners moved in, then 2 months later, moved out and sold it.
Oh, dang.
It sits empty now. Go ahead and Google Earth, check it out. And she puts the address here. Now, I should mention, I was in that house so much before my grandpa had passed and felt nothing. Okay, so I'll tell you my believer side of it if I were to go believer, and then I'll tell you my skeptic side. Okay. Well, I'll let you tell me if you have the same belief side. But she says, I will be sending in another story about my dreams and seeing the death of my grandpa.
Oh.
Right. So I don't know if that means like figuratively or literally she watched her grandfather pass away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
So what do you think what do you think the grandpa part has to do with it?
Did he have a lover?
Oh, that's not the route I was gonna go. It's not the route I was gonna go. I was gonna say, if I were a believer, what if the grandmother never passed on, but was a quiet ghost? Like
and was fine because he was around?
Right. And then once he passed away, grandma was just crying.
That's so romantic.
However, the only weird thing about that, though, is that she doesn't mention the woman crying for all of those years. She lived in that house for a long time.
Yeah.
As a family. And she only mentioned the woman crying when she was about age 17. But they moved in there when she was 14.
Well, maybe grandma was just having a lonely night. Like,
yeah, but a couple lonely nights.
I know, but like once you finally are like, okay, I'm ready to start grieving.
Person. Yeah.
Then
you just can't shut it off. I don't know.
Oh, that's so sad and romantic. And
it is
so much more romantic than a
lover. Well, I mean, not for the lover. The lover probably had some romantic parts of it, but
yeah,
but still not.
I like your version way better.
So my skeptic side of it is she kept mentioning a cat, and I know that they don't think it was a cat. However, have you ever heard a cat in heat?
Yeah, I
Sounds like a crying baby.
Yeah, it does. And sometimes it can sound like a crying woman, but still, I don't know.
And if it's down by the basement window, the sound could travel up, and it sounds like it is coming up there. So the fact that they didn't hear this crying woman until a certain time period, and I don't know if anything happened within that time. She didn't mention anything. So that tells me like random stray cats started coming around in heat, trying to get a little action. All right. Was the cat turning off all the lights and record player? That's just clearly wiring. She nailed it. Good grief. She already did the debunking there. That's just, and a 13-year-old house could still have bad wiring. Who put the wiring in there? Doesn't matter who did it. Oh, also, okay, you're going to be really proud of this debunk, but I cannot take credit for it. I would like to just say that I came up with this on my own, but I didn't. The lovely Stephanie, who always supplies us with so much information, sent me an article that said carbon monoxide has often been linked to people who say they have haunted houses. Oh, yeah. No, I've heard this. What? All these episodes, and you've never given me that one. I don't believe it. Whatever. That makes perfect sense, because if you, there, you know how like people will say like they've had like they have a real quick sudden loss of energy, or like feels like the energy's been sucked out of them, or visions, because carbon monoxide can I don't know that it can flip lights on and off, but it can make the person perceive a lot of things like uneasiness and different things that are going on. So people will say they have haunted houses, and then these people will come in and do carbon monoxide readings and realize that they have like a slow leak. Yeah, I'm sure that is some people's experience. Yeah, like all those that say they have ghosts. Okay. But I did say, I did respond to her, and I was like, you know what, that is something I'll definitely say on the podcast, because even, let's say there is a chance that it could be carbon monoxide, get that shit checked out. I mean, it could save lives, being like, oh wait, I do experience all of those symptoms. Maybe I check this out. Even if you smell rotten eggs all the time. Weird. No, just like a mild leak, just a slight leak. But anyway, I thought, well, that, could be important for somebody to hear that might be feeling some certain things. And then, true believers, they're not going to want to do it, but maybe just get it checked out for my peace of mind. Yeah, I think, no, don't say that true believers don't want to find that out, because we want to debunk everything else. So there is nothing left. So we can say, see, it's clearly a ghost. Okay, well, there you go. Well, just good. That makes me feel better. Debunk it so that I can sleep better at night, knowing there aren't people living in haunted houses that are really getting slowly poisoned by carbon monoxide. Good plan. Right. So, but Angie's story, I loved it. So that's my debunk. I think it was faulty wiring and a cat. All right. Well, I don't think that at all. It sounds like her poor, sad grandmother, who hopefully has figured out a way to cross over at this point. Yeah, cross over and either be with Grandpa or look around. I mean, it's a whole new world up there. Who knows what else is out there? There you go. Get it, Grandma. Okay, so I got on tonight to read the story that I was going to read. Mm-hmm. And as you know,
our fatal flaw is that we don't look into the stories before we're going to read them.
Right.
And there was not one, but two, I'm going to go ahead and call them clickbait. Because it was like, hey, I got a really good ghost story from two different people. And I clicked in and it was like, if you want to hear this ghost story, contact me. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Right.
No.
Well, and I think two of those were from my hustle, and I think might have even been for the live show hustle.
Yeah.
So I think that people responded because I went far and wide. I cast that net to any group in Kentucky that I thought might even like historian groups, anybody. I'm like, just anything. So I think a lot of them responded without listening to what our setup was. So to their credit, I think that it was just like, oh, you want to hear a story? I'm not going to sit and take the time right now, but you can call me and I'll tell it to you. And I'm like, no. That's not what we do.
Yeah.
We don't want to work. We want you to do the work.
Phone anxiety. I do not.
Oh, I hate that.
I don't want to talk on the phone to a stranger. Are you kidding me? No, thank you.
No, that does sound horrible.
No, thank you. I don't want to do that. So anyways, we are getting pretty low in our stories. Hint, hint. Come on, guys, send us in. So anyways, I decided to go out and like an emergency call out to all the places I've posted before. I was like, listen, I don't want to pester, but we need your stories now.
We're recording tonight. And also, I want to say this. If we have not read your story and you sent one in, like a legit one that you sent in and we haven't read it, please go back into that email. I was asking a lot. We're like, write us a story. And then we might, but it is a lot to keep up with. And especially with this live story, we've moved several of them over to a certain person to kind of like look through for us and make sure we have two good ones that we're not going to read until it gets close to that time. So in that shuffle, we may have missed one or something. So
it's also hard because we're both checking it. And so I try not to check it until I'm going to read it so that I know it's a new one. But every once in a while you click on one and then maybe you forgot. So go and just react, comment, send a little message back. So
please know that if we have not read yours, it's not because we've never come across one that we're like, we don't like it. Right. Send back a little message going, don't forget to read mine or something, or you ask for a reminder and then hopefully we'll pop up some more.
Yes, exactly. Well, in my hustle, I sent a message out to true ghost stories from around the world. And somebody came back and said, listen, I've written all of my stories on this page and you're welcome to search my name on here and post or talk about whatever you want that I have posted from a personal story. So I went back and I found a little one. So I'm going to read hers. But while I was reading hers, I got another one sent to my direct message. So I actually got two. So that's very exciting. So I'm going to read two tonight because they're both, one is really short and one is kind of short.
Nice.
Okay. So the first one is the one directly from Facebook. This is from Emily. And she wrote, a personal story of my own. This happened when I was probably about 14 or 15. It was at the end of a school day, and we had just had our last lesson, which was PE. Myself and a couple of other girls were the last ones out. We got changed and ready for home, and were walking along a corridor. As we were walking, a young boy of maybe 9 or 10 years old ran past us in the opposite direction, which is already weird to me because they're 14 or 15. So, like, what kind of school is this? Because you would think 10-year-olds aren't normally with the 14, 15-year-olds.
Right.
But what was odd, bearing in mind this was a long corridor, nobody saw him approaching. He only became visible just as he ran past us. Right? I physically felt the push on my shoulder as he pushed past us. I turned around and my friend said to me, which is so cute, I don't know where they're from, did a little lad just push past you?
Oh,
so sweet. But he was nowhere to be seen. The corridor was too long for him to have got around the corner, as we turned around immediately, and there was nowhere he could have gone. So they didn't see him approach. They saw him and felt him as he passed, and then they turned, and there was no one. Multiple witnesses. He had simply vanished. The school in question was built right next to a cemetery.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide.
Oh, my good Lord.
Just right in that one area of that corridor.
It's fast. It's a fast-moving gas.
It is. It happens fast. Man, I don't know. That's okay. So I'm picturing corridor is indoors.
Yeah, like a long hallway.
Right. Well, as she's talking, I think because I kind of went back into my high school, I kind of was trying to relate it. And at my high school, there was a breezeway that we would go through. So it was like outdoor. So my mind kind of kept switching back into that. I had to remind myself, no, this is indoor. So like a long hallway, no doors.
It doesn't sound like it. It says there was nowhere he could have vanished.
I need to see the corridor. I need to see if there's any, I mean, even, okay, let's say it's a high school. It could have been like a kid that was there dropping off his older sister or brother with his mom and playing a little trick and then trying to play a little hide and seek.
He had an invisibility cloak.
And no, playing hide and seek. And maybe there was somewhere he could hide right behind there and he hears them walking, pops out real quick and is trying to like hurry up and vanish again.
Yeah, maybe. It doesn't sound likely since she specifically says there was no place for him to vanish. But
you also said maybe, so that maybe means possibility.
No, not really. Just, trying to make you feel welcome in my home.
Make you feel welcome in my home. Thank you. I've never not. So you're doing something good. Oh, that's funny. That's what I'm saying is that it might have just been a kid playing hide and seek and they weren't expecting, they're probably in conversation talking. It's not like they're like actively looking for somebody walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
And somebody just happens to appear that they weren't expecting.
Right.
And then
I could see more not noticing as he approached.
Yeah.
Being gone as soon as they turned around is the weird part.
Right. But like I said, it could have been a little guy who was like playing hide and seek there, new hiding spots, new different little nooks and crannies that he like jumped into real quick. And they're like, oh my gosh, what just happened?
Yeah.
Who knows? Kids are crafty.
Okay. They are crafty. That is true. Okay, so that was from Emily. So thank you, Emily, for letting me read it because that was a cool little. It was a tiny one.
Yeah, it was a snippet, but it was a great little visual.
Right. Okay, so now I'm gonna read one from Ryle.
What a neat name!
I know.
Ryle, spell that.
Ryle.
Ryle, I like that.
Me too. I asked her pronouns. She said she, her. I'm assuming that's how you say it.
Okay.
Ryle. Ryle.
Or Riley. You don't think it's Riley?
It could be Riley.
I hope it's Ryle because I like Ryle.
I do too. Okay, so Ryle or Riley. I think it's Ryle. Hey, I have a story for you. When I was in about middle school, I would feel this presence just standing in the hall by my room. So I grow in my formative years, just used to his presence. He hated one boyfriend of mine, which turned into an abusive situation, which I'm glad that he hated him and was maybe giving you some kind of like, no,
bad
this guy's
vibes,
not good. Which my skepticism is saying because you're in my head going, maybe you just had bad vibes.
Hey, wait until I say it. Sorry. Don't steal my thunder.
No. I don't think that's the case, but you've gotten so into my head that when I read these stories, I'm like, this is what she'll say.
It's okay. You got in my head because then I always think of like, oh, in the believer side. And you're right. Yeah. The believer side is way more fun. But anyway, go on.
Okay, sorry. The most it would ever do was stand in my doorway and watch. I got the impression of a stern man with a hat and overalls.
Ew.
I know, I love how specific it is. Which reminds me of the ghost. I always tell you that in this house, I feel like there's an old, angry man and then a young little boy with like olive toned skin and black hair. Why?
And you feel all that?
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand it because I've never seen anything, but in my brain, I picture them the same every time.
What if this is because you're an avid reader? Like, what if Ryle is an avid reader, so her imagination is like, I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean that in like a, when you read, you constantly have to visualize. And maybe not, I shouldn't say imagination. Your visualization skills are on par. Like you guys constantly are visualizing things. It's not just given to you like me, who's lazy and just watch movies. But
interesting. That's an interesting concept.
So I wonder if like when you feel that presence, whether it's true or not, I mean, like let's go into the believer realm here and say that it really is a presence.
Right.
Maybe it doesn't look anything like that, but because you're so used to putting a face, how like when you as a reader told me before, this is how you picture the character and then you watch the movie like nothing at all like what I pictured.
Right.
But clearly somebody else read that and that's what they pictured.
Right.
So I wonder if like this presence, it is so specific. It's interesting that she right down to the overalls, but she didn't say I see him. That's just what she gathers.
Right.
So
I know it's so strange. The little boy is so clear in my mind that I'm like, he must have come to me in a dream. Like I must have seen him.
Right. But then again, you're so good at visualizing.
I know. I just feel like I could pick him out in the lineup. Like I feel like someday I'm going to find a picture and be like, oh my gosh, that's the little boy.
That would be wild. You know what? You're an artist. Will you sketch him out?
Oh my God, I don't know I'm that good of an artist.
Okay. You are. You should sketch him out because I need proof whenever you find this photo.
Okay. I'll draw a little stick figure.
With olive tone skin.
Okay. Like he worked on a farm, but didn't own it. But it was also a thing of pride for him. Okay, so he worked like on her land, maybe.
Okay.
Even though it wasn't his property, she got the feeling he was very proud of it, of his work. Anyway, he was a guy that wasn't bad. You just didn't mess with him.
Okay.
But that presence was fine once the boyfriend was gone. So once the bad guy was out, presence was back to being okay.
But she doesn't tell how the presence acted or anything. It's just like she got this feeling.
Sounds like a feeling.
Okay.
I go to college and come back. By now, I had just married my husband, and I was getting ready to move to Germany when I think I feel his presence again. Only it's kind of different. More creep factor of being watched than protector factor.
Ooh, well, that's weird.
I know. I thought it was weird, but went about getting ready for this move. One night, I feel the presence step one step into my bedroom, which had never happened before, is what it seems like.
Oh my gosh, I've got goosebumps right now.
I know.
That is creepy.
I know. Weird, but okay. A couple nights later.
No, not okay. Nothing is okay. If somebody is walking through your threshold that you don't want there,
right?
Not okay.
Exactly. A couple nights later, I feel it from the hallway across my room. I knew it was for sure not the same thing anymore. So it's no longer that same presence that was like respectful and prideful, but whatever.
Yeah.
The next night, this is where it gets scary. The next night, it's at the foot of my bed. And I'm freaking out, but mentally tell it to go away. Guess what? It doesn't listen. I felt something hold the blankets down on top of me. After what seemed like forever, I realized I was matching my breathing to something. I know. Ooh, it's so scary.
Oh my gosh, I suddenly have to pee a little bit. Like I do. I did not have to pee right before you read that. Now I'm like, I've got to pee so bad. I'm going to wait. But
okay.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Like, is my face red? That got me.
Yeah.
She's matching her breathing with something.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh, shit. Okay.
My bed was breathing, and I noped out of there. I slept with my mom that night. I won't sleep at my parents' house alone anymore. My mom has also woken up to the feeling of someone screaming in her face.
Oh, no.
Only no one is visible.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's it.
That's awful.
Isn't that horrible?
Oh, my gosh.
I kind of feel like that's one of the scariest stories.
I do, too.
Golly.
I'm glad you had to get that hustling.
I know. And then when I wrote back.
Shit, that story's going to stick with me.
I know. She said, as far as we can tell, we just have visitors sometimes. Let me know if you need anything else.
Yeah, I need a lot more.
I need all
of it. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the skeptic realm for just a minute because I'd like to sit here in this, like, I just watched this terrifying movie play out, and I'm not ready to go in that because I want to sit right here in this because, okay, here's what's the scariest part to me is that this presence that she felt for so long, she trusted.
Yeah.
You know, she trusted enough that she knew it wasn't there to hurt her.
Right.
Almost was protective. So she's like, it's almost like a father figure or an uncle or somebody that she felt so safe with. And then how scary to think that if it was still it, turned suddenly like, is it because she turned a certain age or something? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
How creepy would that feeling the first night be of just like, why? Why is it all of a sudden giving me this new? It definitely giving me the heebie-jeebies.
It definitely sounds like, in her opinion, it's two different things.
I know, but I'm just saying. Yeah. The first step of how scary it is, knowing that you trust somebody so much,
right?
And then
that's really scary.
They take a turn. That's terrifying in itself.
Yeah.
Like I thought I knew you, even though it is this presence. But again, I'm sticking in this realm for a minute. I thought I knew you for all these years, I thought you were even protecting me, and then you take a turn. Like, that's like a scary movie,
Yeah,
in
for
itself. Sure. But then realizing it's something totally different.
Right. And then where is that guy? Come back, protector.
I know. Why? What happened to him?
I don't know.
Did the presence, they like battle or something and gone? I don't know. I don't know. You're the expert. I don't know how presence do
to me, it sounds like they've accepted the fact that visitors come and go. So he just left.
Oh, no.
She went to college and he was like,
bad guy took his place.
Yeah. She went to college and he was like, well, okay, I'm going to step out. She's, she doesn't need my protecting anymore. He's gone.
And now this new one
new one came in. So that means maybe there's like some kind of portal or something.
Ooh.
I wonder if anywhere in her house has 2 mirrors that face each other. Have you ever heard about that?
No.
If you've got like 2 mirrors and, you can see the reflection of one mirror from the other, it's supposed to be a portal to the other side.
Also, why would you ever do that? That sounds awful.
I don't know. I know growing up, we at our pool in the little area you would go in to go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. It's like the fancy part of the pool area.
The part that mom never let us go in.
Right. There were 2 mirrors, 2 big mirrors. And, you would look and it was like you were going back in that big tunnel.
Oh,
I used to stand there all the time, try to see behind me. You can't.
Trying to see into that portal. I can just see little Aaron like dancing into and I'm in a portal.
Oh, I used to also always I would make a face and then I'd turn really fast to try to see if I could catch my reflection. Why? I didn't understand mirrors.
I don't understand mirrors.
I mean, I do now, but I didn't as a kid. I did it for a long time.
Hilarious. The things that kids do, they're so weird.
I know. Super weird.
Oh, that's so funny. Just trying to figure out the world. But okay, so that is terrifying. Then the breathing,
that part is.
Okay, so this is funny. I don't think I've ever even said this out loud, and here I am on a podcast. So
it
might sound totally stupid. So we might cut it, but
I mean, I just admitted to trying to catch my reflection in the mirror, so I think it's fine.
Okay, yeah, but you were also what, 10?
Yeah, let's say 10. No, I'm kidding.
Do you ever when you lay in bed with your husband?
Wow, what's happening here? Okay.
No, just sometimes I try to match his breathing. Do you ever do that?
Oh, my husband works nights. So no.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm rarely
your husband. I'm just kidding.
I'm rarely in bed.
Oh, well, sometimes almost to be mindful or try to slip into slumber.
Yeah.
I'll try to match his breathing, but it always makes me laugh because I'm I'll get steady and everything's going. And then he's like, and then because I'm so focused on his breathing, I've never even told him this. It scares the shit out of me every time. Why do I do this? Why do I keep put myself through this? I feel like it's going to calm me down and make me sleep. And it never does because I always get, anyway, that's ridiculous. But my whole point is that, you have to be aware, all of a sudden she realizes that she's matching someone else's breathing.
So scary.
Oh, and then her mom waking up to someone's, she feels someone screaming.
Oh, it's horrible. It's so bad.
She doesn't see somebody.
Yeah, she doesn't see anybody.
It's that energy of
oh, don't make that noise.
But wasn't it good?
It was. It was really scary. I didn't like it.
It's a scary movie. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to go ahead and say it. That is the scariest story we've had.
Yeah, it was really good.
Wow. Yeah, because I feel like it's going to, I'm going to think about it later.
Right.
Oh man, that's good. Okay, so now I'm going to switch that off and go right into the skeptic zone. Okay. And it's a favorite of mine.
Carbon monoxide?
No, that's maybe, but that's a new one. I'm going to say some sleep paralysis is involved.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but people have kind of been reaching out to me more about sleep paralysis since I put that out there all the time. But my friend Alexa, she said she's going to send in her sleep paralysis stories.
Okay.
Because they have scientifically been linked to typically every time there's a sleep paralysis episode,
right,
there's also some sort of panic,
an external panic,
or not external, but a panic attack of some sort of and she worded it way better than I did, almost like a I can't think of the word. I want to say hallucination, but it's not that. But something is paired with it. In almost every case that they've done in sleep studies. So it's your body is in, and I mean, people could also go into the realm of believing there that sleep paralysis, like you always say, is caused by something.
I don't think it's caused by
demonic
something. I think that you can have sleep paralysis
Mm-hmm.
the way you had sleep paralysis, where you felt panicked, you felt
Mm-hmm.
very scared, you couldn't move, your mind was awake,
Right.
but you didn't see anything. So to me, you had sleep paralysis. I feel like some people have sleep paralysis and then see something awful.
Right.
Like, why is their brain making that up when there's nothing there?
I think because your brain tries to puzzle things together. It tries to make things fit. And that level of panic is so big that, especially if you've never felt it before,
Yeah.
your brain is trying to come up with what could this be? And so it's looking for something to fit into that. And it could be a hallucination that will fit into that. Like, what could make me at this level of panic?
Yeah. Well, I need you to go back and rewatch the Haunting on Hill House.
Yeah. See,
Hill House Haunting.
You know what's weird about me?
That movie, that just creeped me out so bad.
See, scary movies with me, or that's a show, right?
Yeah.
I do vaguely remember, but like once I watch them.
The bent neck lady? Oh my God.
Yeah. Now that you say it. But once I watch them, I think just for my own like protection, I forget all about it. I'm like, whoop, out of my brain.
Oh my
Get
gosh.
that out of there. This story, though, I'm going to have to actively work to get this story out of my brain. That was a good one.
Right.
And I think hearing it like scared me even more than watching it. This is why you read, isn't it?
Yes.
I get it now.
Are you going to start reading?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
But I'd like her to keep writing to me.
Okay, sounds good. I'm glad that we brought up sleep paralysis, even though it's like a taboo subject because we always argue about it. But I would love to have like an episode.
Me too.
That's just sleep paralysis.
Yes.
So if you've got a story, even if you're like, I know that this is, like I'm not a believer, this weird thing happened. I'm sure it was sleep paralysis. Write that in. I want to know. Yeah,
because the only thing I know is my own experience and I didn't know that that's what it was. I was like, something is really wrong with me for that to have happened. And then I happened to be watching, I don't know, it was Dateline or something, and they did a whole episode on it. And I was like, what? This is a thing. I had no idea.
Right.
So I would love to hear first-person sleep paralysis stories.
Me too. So send those in and put that in the subject line so we know to read them.
We'll have a whole episode.
Yes, that's what I want.
So glad you did that hustle.
Mm-hmm.
What? Ryle.
Ryle.
Man, I'm so glad. Did they say where they were from?
But I could Facebook stalk them real quick.
Yeah, do that. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. I was just curious. Really cool. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes.
For this fan favorite.
I'm so excited. Yes.
I told Aaron, and I don't know why. I just love him so much. Okay, so our fan favorite is Kim.
Oh,
from
yay!
Copenhagen.
From Dr. Game Show.
Yes, I knew you'd be really excited about that.
I am.
Yes, and I just love his positivity. He always seems so happy. And and then you kind of had it. So tell everybody what game show, what is it?
Okay, so Dr. Game Show is a podcast with Joe Firestone, who might be my favorite comedian, and Manolo. I don't know his last name.
Manolo Blahnik.
No.
That'd be a weird combination.
It would be. But it's like a game show. I started listening because I heard Joe on a different podcast, and she was so funny that I was like, I need to find anything she's on.
Yeah.
And so she's got this podcast where it's just like people write in these ridiculous games.
Yeah.
They're all pretty dumb.
But so they're like ideas for a game show.
Right. And it used to be pre-pandemic, it was that they would have a guest come on and then everybody would play these games.
Oh, funny.
And then they would have callers. And I had been a caller a few times. My girls were
a few times. I feel like you've been a caller a lot.
I've now been on the show 4 times.
4 times. That's wild.
Yeah. But my kids, the fun thing about it is that even though it is hysterical, I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like kid friendly. So it's not catered to kids by any means.
Right, but they can still listen. It's not going to hurt.
Right. There's not really any cussing, and anytime there's something that could be like an innuendo, Joe will be like, it's a family show, and then it gets right back on track.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. Their humor is right up my alley.
Right up your alley. See, we do say it a lot.
I know. It is like, it's goofy, and she's real dry and like sarcastic, and I just love the show. So anyways, there's a good Facebook presence on there, and Kim found us that way.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, so Kim, I just love. So I'm going to read our back and forth exchange just because I thought it was really cute.
Okay.
But I said, "Hi Kim, I would like to make you a fan favorite on our next week's episode. We really appreciate your support and want to support you. Is there anything we can promote for you?" And then I just go on and tell him how great he is. And then he says, "Hi Megan. Oh my God." That was like, oh my God. I was trying to do a
He's like
Copenhagen.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, I like slipped right into to Mayor of Easton. Okay. "Hi Megan. Oh my God. I'm both surprised and honored. I'm going to die." And then in parentheses, figuratively, not literally.
Oh, good.
Dash, "You won't get accused of murdering a fan."
Oh,
he's so cute. "Of proudness when hearing my name on your podcast. I cannot think of anything off the top of my mind. Do I have time to think for a day or two? If not, then I would encourage the listeners to look up a local cat/animal shelter, and if they are so inclined and have funds available, donate so that stray cats and kittens can get treatment and hopefully find a happy adoption home. I'm a weird old cat lady by heart, despite being a man and not too old and not having any cats." I think that's hilarious. That's why I was so excited for him tonight, because I died laughing when I read that. I was like, oh, but he must have cats. And then I get to the line, and not having any cats.
I have nothing in common with them, but I'm just like them.
But I'm just like them in heart. And as you can see, I'm also long-winded. I'm like, I wanted him to go on and on. I could just read it all the time. And I said, "Kim, you are so great." I was like, I can remember I was typing that out while I was laughing at that last line because it was so cute. I said, "Kim, you are so great. We aren't recording until Monday or Tuesday night, so you definitely have time. Wish you were closer so we could get a drink and toast to old cat and dog ladies who might be men, and to all of us long-winded people out there." And then he said, "Excellent. I'll get back to you if I come up with a different answer. And yes, that could be fun." He's like, "Could be, huh?"
It could be. Y'all are kind of weird.
You're a little bit weird. It could be. It might not be. I might not.
Y'all don't like cats, so
Right. But he doesn't own one either. So
no, but he's one at heart.
Oh, I think it's so cute. "BTW, I vote for your recordings to move back to the sofa. I think it was the best thing in the world to hear Ellie snoring and grunting in the background, especially when it happened during the most spooky parts of the story."
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. And so tonight, Ellie, I feel like she was extra grunty, and
she was.
We're not even on the couch, but she was loud.
I know. I hope she got picked up now.
I feel like she did it just for Kim. And then so he wrote back a couple days later. He's like, "Let's just stick to the cat/animal shelters, despite you two being dog people."
Oh, perfect. Yeah, they need it.
Right. Because there's a lot of people that aren't cat people.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I think that, you know what, that fits right in with Sarah. So if you still need a kitten, if you are new to listening, you're like out there looking, we have some kittens I think that still need a home. So reach out, and in honor of Kim,
that's right,
reach out and we can hopefully get those kittens a home.
Oh.
But if you don't, I mean, I, like we say all the time, I don't want a cat living in my house, but I do appreciate them. I do love them. I'm glad that other people love them to give them good homes. So
yes.
So donate in honor of Kim, and I think that would be lovely.
Yes, great.
Weren't you excited?
I am so excited. That's
I know.
So cute.
I think he's just great. I just, when I say that, I'm like, he's somebody I could just see loving, like the minute you meet him. I don't know why. I don't know. It was just something he kept posting, like a couple of posts that he made in response to something that you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And he just seemed so positive and happy. Right. And I was like, oh, I love him. So I really do appreciate all of his support that he's given us. He has been present on Facebook, comments, clearly listens.
Yeah.
So there you go. We're happy. And Kim, thank you so much.
And now take a vote. Can we go back to our comfy couch? Do y'all love Ellie?
I mean, yeah, for real. We could do a poll on Facebook. Right. I mean, it would be nice to sit back there again, but
no,
she is the whole reason we left, because she will demand sitting right in between us.
Yeah, and she's loud.
That's it. Okay, so this weekend we'll put a poll out there and see what everybody thinks, and be honest.
Yeah.
Because we're also perfectly fine sitting at the kitchen table if it really is that distracting.
Right. I mean, it was more comfortable back there, but
it was, whatever.
What you all want. We're here for
you, except for that we might have bad editing. We might get sued from time to time.
Oh, no.
We put up random people's homes on Google Maps, whatever. No, we are 100% here for the listeners who are going to get us one day a crab dinner.
That's right.
There it is.
That's our goal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So down to business. If you guys haven't joined our Patreon yet, you can get on there. We have 2 tiers, one for $3 where you get a sticker, and one for $5 where you get a sticker and a monthly movie night. If you are local or willing to travel,
which we do have some.
I know. It's so exciting. Our first live event, hopefully not last, let's see how we do.
Yeah.
Is next Thursday.
That is so weird when you say it out loud. Next Thursday.
I know. I'm trying not to think about it. I think about it in the abstract, like not really going to happen, but it's like, oh, this fun little thing that'll never happen, but it's really happening. So that's June 17th at Third Turn in Oldham County. Doors open at 7 for it, and we'll be there, drinking and talking until
definitely drinking,
right? Yeah, buy us some shots.
No, afterwards. Well, that's the last thing I need.
I'm gonna need 1 shot before we go on.
Girl,
1 shot. I am so scared. Are you kidding me?
Okay, fine. You do 1 shot. I'm not, because here's my thing. As scared as I am, if I get sloppy on here, you can edit me and make me sound great.
I know. I have thought about that.
I cannot because when I get sloppy, and I'm like, no. Like, I think I'm hilarious, and then all of a sudden it'll like tune in and out. I'm like, you're not as funny as you think you are. You need to tune it down.
I need you to take that little voice and kick it out of your head.
Okay,
for next week.
I mean, I'll try, but you better be glad it's there sometimes, because the stuff I think about saying is not always my best. Oh my gosh.
Well, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That happens next week, next Thursday. And then what else do we have? We need your stories, everybody.
Yeah,
please send us your stories.
If you've been waiting, stop. Let's get them in.
Even if you're skeptical, give us those stories.
Yeah, and somebody the other day was like, well, I don't have any ghost stories. Let's widen that net a little bit to any sort of paranormal.
Yes.
It can be a UFO sighting. It can be a cryptid sighting. It can be, there's all sorts of time travel theories, portal theories, Lots of people have lots of different things that have happened.
Curses.
Oh, witches.
I know.
Bring it in.
I'm down for anything under the paranormal umbrella.
Yeah. Odd experiences that you can't explain.
Right. Even if you are a skeptical person saying, I know that this was probably because of this.
But it happened. And
send it in. Think? Let me work a little bit. Let me prove to you.
Yeah.
Right now, I just have to sit back and go, no, you're wrong.
Right? Yeah, please make her work more often.
Yeah.
God, I work so hard in this podcast. That's a joke. She does all the editing. She does all the hard work.
No. All right.
That's it. Anyway, yeah, I do.
I don't know where to go from that.
It's fine. But yeah, let's get some stories in and then tell them what they need to do to love us so much.
Well, first write those stories into myskepticalsister@gmail.com. And then, what would be interesting? What if they wanted one of us to read them? If you want Megan to read your story, unless it gets way off balance and everybody likes Megan more, in which case I'm going to get real pissed.
No, it would not be true. I would imagine if I had a good ghost story, I would want you to read it, because you protect people.
I protect your readers too.
You do. You protect all of our readers equally. And I am not being mean to them.
No,
I just am being true to myself. Sorry. Not sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So you can follow us on Facebook. Find us at My Skeptical Sister. And we're very active there. We're also on Instagram with the same name. We're also on TikTok. I don't know what to put on there, so it's pretty lame over there.
Okay, I'll commit. I'll commit to doing a TikTok before we go on to our live show.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Just you and I.
Okay.
Backstage of a stage. I don't know if there's a stage, but in the bathroom. We'll find an empty bathroom and we'll do a TikTok just for you all.
Okay. I'm not learning a dance.
Girl, we could learn Renegade.
I'm not learning a dance.
That would be hilarious. No, we won't learn a dance. That'd be too much in a week.
Right. No, thank you. Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, or follow us on Spotify or whatever you listen to, and tell a friend. That's probably the best way to get us out there.
It definitely is. Yeah, I think word of mouth is our best.
Right.
It just is. Put us out there. We love it. Put us out there, and we'll make you our fan favorite, and we'll put you out there.
That's right. You could be as cool as Kim. Nah, you couldn't. Sorry, you can't. Kim's too
he's
cool.
from Copenhagen.
He's from Copenhagen.
Good luck trying to be as cool as Kim from Copenhagen.
Yeah.
I mean, really, also kind of not an ulterior motive, but like, let's get in good with Kim so we can go to Copenhagen.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Kim. It could be fun.
I love how
we'll make it fun.
Every week we end up.
I know.
Like,
we're so intrusive.
How can we invade your life?
It's so, yeah.
It's weird.
Like, it's because we're like mom.
I know.
She was like pen pals with a lady that she sat next to on a plane for like 20 years.
I know. She's so weird, and we're her daughters.
But I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
That's it.
Our new best friend Kim, Bill loves it too.
Let's hope. All right.
It'd be fun.
Well, thank you guys, and we will talk to you all. We'll talk to some of you guys on our movie night, and we will actually get to meet some of you guys next week.
Oh, it's so exciting.
It's wild. All right, bye, guys.
La 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 la.
Ellie is so loud tonight.
That's good. I feel like it's the honor of our fan favorite.
Ellie. Oh, you're fine. Go lay down.
Lay down.
I already gave you love. Oh my gosh, I miss having a dog so much. You're so cute. Now go lay down.